Cafecito con Gina Balseca es más que un podcast. Es un espacio para la conexión y la comunidad. Acompáñanos en este espacio acogedor.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us to Cafecito with Gina Balseca. It is a great honor to have here with us an amazing woman, a mentor, an incredible politician, strong woman that I admire so much, our MP for King Von. And how are you today?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
And here we are with Paula, our co-host. So, I was looking at your bio and you've been working with the finance department.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
I was 2 when I started. No.
15.
Okay, there you go.
That's amazing. And then you moved into volunteer in different venues. I think it's admirable. And I just wondered, tell me what it was like to be growing up as Anna Roberts.
I was so blessed to have the opportunity to be raised by my grandparents, which I think today we miss out on that because they are able to teach you about our heritage. Yeah. They are able to teach you. One of the most important rules that my grandparents taught me was treat everyone with respect. Yeah. If you want people to respect you, then you need to show the same. You can't expect people to reach an open hand. You can't expect people to be compassionate if you're not going to exemplify that same attitude. So I had the most wonderful grandmother and great-grandmother in the world. They taught me about our heritage. They taught me about preserving vegetables for the winter months and how to eat healthy. It's just an experience that will stay with me for the rest of my life.
And that's where your compassion and your lovingness and caring about the people around you. So she really implemented a lot of her skills and beliefs in you. Eh? That's wonderful.
Did. Yeah.
What advice would you give to your younger self at the age of 5, Anna?
The one thing that we have to encourage everyone is don't give up on your dreams. If you have a goal in life, achieve it. And if you meet challenges or struggles, it's okay. Because the only way that we're going to learn is to try.
It's true.
And make a difference. And you have to be able to say, hey, maybe it didn't work this time, but it'll work next time. I mean, I didn't win in 2019. But that never, ever I never once
it would have crushed me, but I just
kept on going.
Stronger. Yes.
Yeah. So you have to be able to believe in yourself. And the only way to do that is to look at yourself in the mirror every day and say, I can do this.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just admire you. Ever since I knew you, before you became an MP, you were right on the ball with everything you did, and that's great. Did you feel that you wanted to be a politician from when you were young, or is something that you
I think for me, throughout the years, because of the influence of my grandparents, I was always told, find something that you're passionate about and volunteer. One of the things I'm passionate about is I volunteer at a seniors home. I've been there since 2009, and my sister, unfortunately, had to spend some time there. She was in a very terrible traffic accident when she was very young. And throughout the years, she deteriorated. And in memory of her, I continue to participate and volunteer. It's important that we give back. So one of the things I would say, I really wanted to get involved in the political aspect because how can we sit back and complain if we're not going to get involved? We need to make sure that it's important that our views are able to be projected, but we have to be fair. That's the whole beauty of this country. We have the opportunity, the free speech to speak freely. I might not always agree with everything, but that's okay. That's what Canada is known for. We have the opportunity for the free speech. And we learn to understand different people may have differences, but we're all here together.
have you had a personal or professional challenge in your life that just completely changed the path for you?
So, I'll share something very private, I guess. So I spent some time in foster care, and I have to tell you, I had a very wonderful foster mom. And when I completed my high school, I knew that the only way to continue my education was to find an organization that believed in me. And my foster mom worked at the bank, and you know how you take your kids to the work day, bank day. So I went to work with her one day, and I really fell in love with the financial part of her job. So I joined the bank, and thank God, because I was able to pursue both my career path and my educational path. So through their contribution, I was able to complete my ICB program, which allowed me to excel in the bank.
That's
so
amazing.
The challenges for me was trying to work full time and also go to school. Because way back in the old days, there wasn't such a thing as online. You physically had to go to school. So it taught me a lot. It taught me to be regimented. It taught me to be time management because, you have to have those skills in order to complete all the tasks.
But your mother, foster mother, she was a really good example for you,
yes,
right?
Because
she was in finances. So that gave you, I want to be like my mom.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Life had a nice way of taking you to the path that you needed to be in.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Often I wondered, you are an advocate for seniors, for sex trafficking. And I admire that because I'm always thinking of the youth, my grandchildren. I'm also grandma, and I think of their future. And I think that's so admirable, so wonderful that you're doing something so important. And I know that in Vaughan, there's sex trafficking happening, and a lot of people don't know about it. Tell me a little bit about that. How's your work?
So I'll tell you, one of the challenging motions that I have is I am currently waiting to put forward my motion for Down syndrome. And what I want to do is, right now, certain provinces have it, but not right across the country. The United Nations has deemed March 21st as the Down Syndrome Day. I was blessed to have the opportunity to volunteer for an organization called Creating Alternatives. Mm-hmm. It's an organization that allows individuals with cognitive challenges to have a place to go. Because once you reach a certain age, there's no other avenues for these young adults. Mm-hmm. So how do we encourage them? It's not about their disability. It's about their ability. Yeah. Because a lot of them can do a lot of things, but we need to give them that opportunity. So getting involved allowed me to realize that giving back, I think sometimes I feel selfish because it makes me feel good.
Absolutely.
So by doing this, it allows me to be able to say, hey, I put a smile on someone's face today.
Wow. I
could live with myself. So getting involved was part of the culture that I was raised in. It was part of the culture. Back in the old days, my grandmother would say, okay, la señora down the street needs help. So we would rush to help her if she was sick or if she was ill, or you would take, some food or help her with the laundry, because bringing a community together can only do wonderful things.
It's true. It's a life that's fulfilled. It's incredible.
So part of the volunteering is my seniors. I'm very passionate about it. So I continue the volunteering for them because I think they're the ones that built this country and we need to honor them. It is so important that we do that. One of the other things I'm compassionate about, like you mentioned, Gina, was the human trafficking. We're in the top 10 of the worst countries in the world for human trafficking.
I didn't know it was so bad.
Oh, it's that bad. And what we need to do is we need to ensure we protect our young children.
Yeah.
How do we do that? The only way that we can achieve that goal is to ensure that we change the laws. We have to change the laws, and we have to make people understand our children are our future.
Exactly.
But they can't be our future if we don't protect them. So I'm hoping that when we do form government, I will be able to ensure that that is one area that I will be very, very passionate about and working on. Because to me, when I read stories like Out of the Shadows from Tamia Nagy, when I read stories about what's happened to her and what's happened to this country and how these perpetrators feel that Canada is a haven for criminals, it leaves me with some very serious concerns.
Absolutely. But in the meantime, until we change the policies, what can we do? What would be your advice for parents, for grandparents, you know?
I would say that make sure that your children are educated and informed. Make sure that the children are never left unsupervised.
But you know, the youth, they go to the mall, they go to the movies. What can we do?
Education. We have to educate them. We have to educate them to let them know that there are some criminal components out there that in some aspect will not stop. How do we stop them? By educating our youth to ensure that they understand. Now, the other aspect that we have to also incorporate is how do we educate our young men to ensure that they respect and treat women better? Because over 95% of victims in human trafficking are women. So we as parents and grandparents need to ensure that we incorporate that in the education of our males. Our male children need to understand if they respect women, then they will respect how they treat women.
So the education comes from the house, from the home.
Yes.
You know, the parents have to take time. Estamos hablando de sex trafficking para los jóvenes. Tenemos que darnos un poquito de tiempo para examinar la situación, ver que de verdad los jóvenes necesitan que los padres hablen con ellos, que les respeten a las mujeres se cuiden, que no son cualquier cosa, que valen mucho y se merecen ser respetadas.
Así es, todo empieza desde la educación, desde la casa,
¿no?
Las escuelas también tienen que informar a estos niños. Ellos mismos también tienen que ser cuidadosos cuando van, como usted dijo, al mall a comprar algunas cosas, pues tienen que estar conscientes del entorno que está alrededor de ellos, que es peligroso, puede ser peligroso.
Y tú que eres jovencita, just give me a second, I'm just going to ask as a youth.
Yeah.
Tú que eres como jovencita, ¿cómo te cuidas? ¿Qué sabes de sex trafficking?
Pues yo estoy en este país acá sola. Mis padres están en Colombia. Pues antes de venirme, ellos me hicieron conscientes de todo esto que estaba pasando. Entonces
she's saying that in Colombia, her parents taught her of the sex trafficking and everything that's going on here. She's familiar.
Myself.
Yeah.
I'm originally from Colombia, so I'm saying is that before coming here, they educate me on that. Like, be careful when you're on the street. Like, don't trust everyone. Don't take food from someone that you don't know. So I kind of like had always that on the back of my head. So I'm trying to be conscious. I'm careful about everything.
That's very good. But we also have to balance it, right? So that we don't go in the extreme and not trust everybody either. So I don't know where we draw the line.
Isn't it sad that we have to be able to live in society today with the thought of having to teach our children how to protect themselves when they're not in our company? And that really, I mean, I remember as a young girl, we'd go out and we would go to the park with our friends and we would play and we would just walk to school, walk home. That used to exist in this country. And today we have to be mindful of it.
Yes.
So I would say that your parents did a good job.
Yes.
By not only educating you, but protecting you, giving you the skills that you need to live in a country that you're not accustomed to.
Yeah.
And eventually you'll be able to pass that on to your children.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's really cool.
And you're going to be making the country a better place through your work. And
from your lips to God's ears.
We are so grateful to have you.
Yeah, I'm so impressed by how you are showing your passion for helping the community, you're volunteering. I would like you to share a rewarding moment that you have been an MP?
One of my most rewarding moments was, and I'll be totally honest with you, I have the most amazing team. I can't say enough about them. They are like family. So I have my family and I have my political family. They never gave up on me. When I lost in 2019, and I remember to this day in my speech, I said, the beauty of going through this exercise was the ability to meet such wonderful people. So when the opportunity arose again in 2021, my team encouraged me and helped me. We learned the lessons of 2019, but they didn't give up on me. So my attitude with my campaign manager and my team at the time was, I need to do this for not just for me, but also for the community. The people of King Vaughan voted for me to take their voice to Ottawa. That is an honor in itself because, let's be honest, this position as a politician, we have to look at it as one thing. We are the servants of our community and our country, not the masters.
Wow, that's incredible. Aquí la diputada, es un gran honor tenerla a ella y es tan humilde que con sus palabras nos ha inspirado mucho. Paulita, ¿tienes otra pregunta para la diputada?
I was gonna ask, there's a lot of youth that they may be interested in getting into politics. So what advice will you give to them?
What I would give to them is make sure that they watch the news. Make sure, because they need to understand what party am I more affiliated with and find out what's important to them. We hear it when we knock on people's doors and they tell us the struggles that they're going through, the fact that they can't afford the things they used to, they can't afford to, pay the rent and buy the food, everything, inflation has gone up. But get involved.
Yeah, and don't give up.
Get involved. Go to your local association. Every riding has an association. That association is like a family. So when I meet with my EDA, it's the Electoral District Association, we talk about what's important in the community. How are we going to make a difference? We take that information from our constituent and we take it back to Ottawa. But my team decided that this time we were going to knock on as many doors as possible and listen to what we need to do
to make a change. And you were sharing one of your staff who was starting from Joan of Arc.
Yes.
So there's an opportunity for volunteering.
Exactly.
Then after getting hired, and then they keep their goals with you even.
Exactly. And so if they're interested in a political career, that's the best way to do it. A lot of the local high schools will have the opportunity for co-op programs. And the dedication that I received from Nicholas, one of my students from St. Joan of Arc, was amazing. This young man is one of the most exciting individuals I know. He's like a dictionary. If I have a question, I just have to ask Nicholas. But it's his passion. And it's his drive, his enthusiasm. When he came to our office, he had that spark. And I think that's what's missing today. Find a career that you can really make a difference, that you enjoy.
No.
To me, people say, well, you're always on the go, but it's a passion.
Exactly.
And when it becomes a passion, you love what you do.
It's not a job.
It's not a job anymore.
Absolutely. No. I hear you talking about having that passion. And it's so true. I always advise the youth, don't go by the money. They think, this job's going to give me so much money, but it's not. I said to them, 40 years you're going to be in a career. You better like it. Better have that passion to do what you do. Estamos hablando de que es tener esa pasión para que hacer un trabajo que no se sienta como trabajo, sino como un placer, una diferencia, hacer una diferencia en la comunidad. En cualquier rama de la que escoge un joven tiene que poner la pasión, el entusiasmo, y eso le va a llegar a donde él quiere o ella quiere llegar. Muy bien. ¿Tienes otra pregunta, Paulita?
Yeah, one last question.
Sure.
So this was a little bit more personal. So we would like to know, after a busy week of work, being involved with so many people, how do you kind of like reset yourself?
So I like to keep in touch with my family and my friends, and I try the best that I possibly can. That's still something that I struggle with, and I do have to do a better job at doing that. My team will tell you that, I'm a go-go type of person. I want to always be busy. But I think maybe sitting down and reading, I do a lot of reading because a lot of people give me a lot of books from things that I probably should know, but I educate myself. So I like to read the stories that people send to me. I like to be able to spend time with my friends and family. But one thing that I have to say, there has to be a balance. Yeah. We have to make sure that we don't forget this because let's be honest, the world has many, many different avenues for people to follow. But if you forget about the ones that care for you and love you, then there's nothing that's worth living. So it's the people that helped me, my family, my colleagues, my friends, my team. They're important to me and I can't forget them.
And the rough circumstances in life, also God, right? He gets us through.
Faith and family are so important. Yeah. And we're we seem to be getting away from it. One of the things that I have to tell you is it's difficult to always make it to church, but every Wednesday morning in Ottawa, we rise early and we have one of our colleagues who's also a pastor, and we get together and we pray for everyone. We pray for ourselves. We pray for the good of the community. We pray for anyone that's ill. We make sure that we understand that there's only one God in this world. And if we were to bring faith and family back into our society, just think what a peaceful, peaceful country. We need that. We need that. We really do need that. And that's the beauty of Canada, because it doesn't matter where you came from. Doesn't matter who you believe in. We all have to learn how to get along together.
We have that need.
Yes.
So unless we get that faith in us, we can move forward, And we keep looking for whatever it is out there that we need.
Faith is so important because when times are tough, we look to God in our faith.
Yes. Yes, and we have to do more of that.
We do.
You're such an incredible woman. Your strength, you're my inspiration.
Well, Gina, I don't think you should shortchange yourself because what you've done for Forza Latino, and I have followed you for many years. I see the wonderful opportunities that you've provided for the students, for the young generation. We need more of that. We need more of you in this community so that kind. We can develop our youth to take over. Because let's be honest, Gina, you and I are not always going to be here, right? So we need to leave this country better than what we found it. We need our youth to excel. So I thank you and Forza Latino for everything that you've done.
You're amazing. Thank you. It's been a privilege. I thank you for who you are, what you do in the community, and for being the wonderful, humble person that you are. And you're very dear to me. Thank you for being here, and what a great honor. Muchas gracias por acompañarnos. Thank you for keeping this moment with, for Cafecito. I hope that, this wonderful lady has inspired you the way she has inspired me. And I'm truly honored to have her here. Thank you very much.